doing? My name is Jacqueline. You can call me Julie. That's my nickname. I am here to tell my story about everything that happened throughout my whole time being here in New York. I hope you guys is listening to what I'm saying because really it's important what's going on in our life now, days on. Um, my name is Jacqueline. Again, they call me La Chuli. I'm here, this is my first time telling my story on YouTube, trying to see how many parents, how many people are going through it out there, same way that I am. Well, since I was a child, I've been in the bully section where people get bullied all the time. I came from Puerto Rico to New York, but I really would like to tell you a little bit about my island because that's where all started. I was like 7 years old when I started singing. I was way younger than that because I started in school in my first grade, kindergarten. I was already singing because my father's a singer. He likes to sing. I come from Puerto Rican parents. My blood is fully DNA Puerto Rican. I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I am actually, when I was 5 years old, yep, I was living in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I remember all the stuff that I went through over there. But because of my time being small and little and young, I know what I wanted in life after I had a child. When I was little, I went through a lot, so I wouldn't want my son to go through the same thing that I went through when I was little. I was bullied. I was called different names in school. And I was an A student. I want to just jump into what's going on right now, but I want to give you a little bit of how my life has changed me completely to the person that I am now. I was 5 years old, and when I was little, I used to rescue a lot of animals, a lot of dogs. And then mommy always used to have a dog, and I always used to fall in love with the dogs. Like literally animals, cats, dogs, anything that was animal, I always wanted to be around them. Well, my life when I was little, it was kind of hard, and there was times that I wonder why the things that happened in my house happened, but um, I grew up in those times where I wasn't able to be around a conversation where there was older people. I wasn't able to watch certain things. I wasn't able to say certain things or talk or disrespect older people. I wasn't able to do a lot of things that nowadays I see that are ruining our life completely. Because if we build the kids to be glass, they gonna be broken. So when I was 6 years old, I remember my mom moving to Puerto Rico, and then when I was 11, I came back to New York City. When I came back to New York City, I grew up in the 80s in the Bronx, 184 Grand Avenue. I met a lot of people. My life was hard. As a young girl, 11 years old, coming from Puerto Rico, not knowing a lot too much about the streets. I started hanging out in the streets out here. But when I was little, I used to like literally sing for money. or climb a tree in Puerto Rico. And I remember bringing down the canepas. I don't know how you call them in English. Bringing down the canepas, and it was like amazing because the canepas were something that I brought down from the tree. I climbed, I brought it down. My mom's helped me tie them, and I was selling them in front of my house. And I remember that when Christmas came in Puerto Rico, I used to go outside. I used to do parrandas. That's like taking music to other people's house and stuff like that. I used to get paid for that. There was times where we ain't had no food and stuff like that, and I would go outside and go singing again and making money and bringing it to my mother, and my mother would buy something to eat. You know, I was always trying to do my best in school because I was bullied in school, so I was always trying to do my best in school. And I remember that my life was so hard that I never wanted to do things that nowadays people do. Like, their life is hard and then they want to go and do something or rob somebody or take this and that, because I did stole. I'm not gonna say I didn't steal, because I did stole at one point. I did stole. That comes up in a few. So when I came to America from Puerto Rico, because I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut, but my mom moved out when I was 6 years old to Puerto Rico, and we came back when I was 11. So here in New York, I had a hard life. I grew up around, people that were from the streets. The streets is like literally my family. Like, the streets was the one that like actually put me on to a lot of things, but it was up to me. They ain't put a gun on me and told me do this and do that. No, I decided to do it because I was in need. I started selling drugs in 184, and I have gotten arrested, but when I got arrested, I said, kept on doing the same thing, because when I got arrested, I went back to go get a job and I couldn't get it because I was arrested and my background was messed up. And I had to like literally say, you know what? I don't want to do it, but I have to do it because I have to survive the streets. I have to do what I have to do. What I went through when I was little, I wouldn't want my son to go through. There's certain things that went on that I wouldn't want my child to go through. Right now, I'm here to bring my story because I feel like I should let people know who I am and what I do. Because people be lying on people. Sometimes people be lying on people just because they want to see you down. They want to see people hating you. They want to get to you, but they don't want to do it themselves. They want to do it to somebody else. So the only thing to do it is to attack you through the things that you love the most. I have a son now. But before I had a son, I went to jail for selling drugs. I went to jail for selling drugs, and when I got arrested, I remember that the person that came to me to buy the last bag of dope, I mean, I had more than that, but I lied to the cop. I told him that I ain't had no more, and I did have it. I sold a bag of dope, and I was arrested for possession of substance. And I didn't want to sell it to the second person that came in. I was like, damn, so I gotta pay my bills. That actually happened. I told the DT, sir, I have to pay my bills. I don't know, but I have to pay my bills. Like, this is why I'm gonna give it to you, because I didn't know the guy, but I said, this is why I'm gonna give it to you, because I gotta pay my bills. And I passed him the bag of dope, but I remember that the one before him came and he was sick and red and stuff, and he was like, please, I need it. And I didn't want to sell it to him, but I saw he was sick and I felt sorry, and something told me don't give it to him, and I gave it to him. And the next person that came in to buy it was a DT, happened to be a DT, and I told him I have to pay my bills. And I really did tell him the truth because I needed to pay my bills. I was not doing right. I wanted money to survive, to eat, to be out there. A lot of people always say, oh, you're a crackhead, you this, and you a effing crackhead, you this, you that, you. I never did drugs. Throughout all the drugs that I sold in my life, I never sold drugs. My drug was the people that surrounded me, the people that you give your all to, and then all of a sudden they transform on you like you don't even know where it came from, or either they want to use you. And um, I got arrested for possession of drugs, and I got locked up. When I got to Rikers Island, they told me I was pregnant. After they told me that I was pregnant, I started crying. I spazzed out in that hospital, in the clinic, in the jail, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm pregnant. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here." And everybody's telling me, "Calm down, calm down." And I was like, "No, I gotta get out of here. I can't have my child in here. I can't have him in here. I have to go." And I remember I went to Rikers Island at the time, and I was crying in reception. And I remember, damn, if I would have just go with my, like people say it the gut, they call it the gut, but I really call it, and I truly call it the Holy Spirit, because he let you know when to move, and we just don't listen. We just keep going and doing whatever we want to do. It's what we want to do, whatever we want to do. This is what we're going to do. So, um, yeah, I sold the drugs and I was crying in Building 6 in Rikers Island. And one of the users come to me and tell me, Jackie, you know what? You can come out. They were offering me a 4 to 9 because I had already went to jail upstate. Not upstate, in Amsterdam, New York. So the lady told me, you could come out in a program. Don't worry about it. You could come out. And I was just crying, saying, I don't know why I did it, why I kept on selling drugs when I really don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. I don't deserve to be in here. And I was arrested. I did my time. But in 4 months after that, because the person that uses drug told me, Mira, you could come out in a program. Don't worry about it, You could get parole and go speak to somebody and tell them that you have problems with doing coke, with doing weed and alcohol. I never had a problem with alcohol. And the reason why I say I never had a problem with alcohol killed my grandmother. I don't have no time for alcohol. Like I could little bit of drink and that's it. I don't have love for alcohol. I never fell in love with alcohol, and I thank God for that, because that's a bad, I call it drug too. No difference from any other drug. I even think cigarettes are a drug because sometimes I need it, But it was hard for me to live here in New York and not have a helping hand. Even when I get a helping hand, it was like, oh, I had to leave, or either, it's a family getting together now. It's time for me to leave. Like, I never liked to be around a couple. I never liked to do none of that. Make a long story short, the reason why I say this is because right now, I caught myself as a mother, being a mother, all the fighting that my mom had to do with the system to provide to us. And there's people that can work, but there's people that can't work. Sometimes I can't even go to work because I am so sick or so emotionally stressed out, depressed, and I get anxiety. Why? Because of the people, not because of me. Because those are demons, like literally demons that try to tell you you're not worth it. It's better taking out your life. You bring problems to everybody. You're this, you're that. Oh, and I used to be like, Lord Jesus, I did not want that life. And I always was singing to the Lord. Every time singing to God, to God, to God. Singing to the Lord, Jehovah, please help me out of here, this and that. He took me out. I was able to come out in a program called La Casita Tres. No, La Casita. I was in the number one, where it's a mother and child program. A mother and child program that Lorraine Montenegro made is, she has like, I believe, 6 buildings for people that use drugs, people that, it was created for mother and child because one day Lorraine Montenegro's mother created that program for mother and child because somebody knocked on her door, on her mother's door when she was little. Somebody knocked on her mother's door and she was hungry, and she remembered that mother had a child in her hands, and she gave the lady food, felt sorry for her, and then she grew up with that, making a mother and child program for mothers that use drugs and stuff like that. No, I did not use drugs, but I was able to tell the parole, listen, I did use drugs because weed is drugs. So I was like, I smoke weed and I drink. That's what I said. I was able to go to that inpatient program, La Casita, in which Lorraine Montenegro helped me. You know, she was a beautiful lady to me. I really thank her for not putting me back in jail because she had a lot of chances to put me in jail, being that I would grow depressed and I would go bipolar. And it looked like I wasn't being heard. But I remember her taking me to the office one time and telling me, I was just like you when I was your age. I fought everybody and everything that was in the way because I knew I was right. And I knew that one day I was gonna become who I am today, because I said it to myself, I am gonna become who I am today. So she gave me a chance to stay in the program. She gave me a chance. She gave me many chances, not just one. And I was able to actually stay in the program for mother and child because I didn't want my son to be separated from me. I loved my child, so I was like, I have to do this for me and my child. After I came out of the program, because I had my child in the program, I mean, not in the program, St. Barnabas, but I was still living in the program when I had my child. And after that, I was 7 years in the system. And I'll tell you one thing about the system is that they really, really alive that is control. They control when you come in. They control visiting hours. They control when you go out. They forcibly want to make you things that you really don't want to, and you miss them. And that's why I say my advice for my son was like, you know, you don't want to be in these places. And none of them you want to be, because I was in jail and I don't want to be in jail. And I don't want you to ever go to jail because I did this and this and this. I don't want you to, I want you to do this, 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 and this. I created my son. I let my son know how life was in the bad side, and on another, I let him know what was bad and what was good, so then he can choose for himself, because you can't choose for your child once they a certain age. You can't choose for them. You just gotta stand strong. The system sucks. Sucks because at one point my son was getting bullied too, like I was. My mom didn't play that shit. My mom used to be like, you gonna kick behinds? If you don't kick behinds when you come home, I'm gonna kick your behind. So me, I was like, to my child, I sat down and I was like, do you know bullies are killers? Bullies are killers without weapons. Because I feel like bully people should do time, because that's very bad when you bully somebody. My eyes are like this because I was crying. And the reason why I was crying is because I can't believe everything that I'm going through. Even though I do good things, bad things happen to me. But then again, I start remembering when Jesus Christ was in that cross, and before he was in the cross, they treated him like crap. They spit in his face. They did all types of things to Jesus. And I was like, if he handled it, then maybe I can. And I'm telling you, the spirit of suicide is something very bad because that's a demon. That's not the person. The person don't want to kill themselves. The person wants to live. They want to live. They just don't know who to run to. But I always ran to God because I used to have a church in the bottom of my house in Puerto Rico. I used to have a church, and that church was like me, myself, and I with my imaginary people in the church sitting down and me talking to God. And I feel like throughout everything that I went through, he was still there with me. He never abandoned me. So the reason why I tell you guys this is because we just have went through something. Throughout school, I had to put my son through. He was bully. And I had to go to the school and be like, nah. I got to make sure my son is not going to be the same as me and then leave school because these bullies want to make him feel like he's not worthy or whatever, this and that. I fought the system, hard body. Since I moved into this apartment, it's been the same way. I have fought these people from this apartment for a minute already. Since I moved in, no, I'm not rich. I don't have no money. The money that I get from people already went to what it was going to go to. And it was not even up to $200 when I went to Puerto Rico. The rest of the money was mine because I was singing in the trains and I made sure that I was providing for the people with my money because I don't like to take other people's money. No longer will I take other people's money. That's impossible. I can't because when you take other people's money, it's very important that you know where it's going or where. It's not that I can't. Because I could run people's money better than the politicians, you know. But my thing is, my people, that I'm going through something right now. And I really need to be heard. And I'm not being heard. And being that I'm not being heard, I'm trying to like make this video so people can see how messed up is the system now. After my son getting hurt, after him not getting justice, after these people coming out. You see all those people being killed? So many people being killed out there. They have no justice whatsoever. It doesn't matter. Well, my son did not get killed, but my son didn't get no justice. So throughout all that time that I went through suffering in this apartment, in which they want to take me out now because I had told her, listen, I'm going to sue you guys because I can't take it anymore. They served me, and now they want to take everything that happens in this building. Like if I'm the one that broke rules and regulations. How you not going to break rules and regulations and they break their rules and regulations? So what my thing is, this is the only home that I had since I came out of the shelter. I got it after 7 years. And throughout all this time me living here, they've been trying to get me out of here, saying that I am the one provoking other tenants from not like scaring them. Like I'm the one threatening them. I'm the one scaring them away from me. I'm the one that, sorry about that. I'm not even being heard by anybody. The cops did what they had to do. You could call a cop for any crime that has been committed. They're going to come. They're going to arrest the person. But the justice system is letting them go. And this is why I am here today. And I am willing to tell all my story about what's going on right now that I know that I seen when I was little, but I didn't get to see it all because I was a baby and my It's not exposing me to the things that I see some moms exposing their kids today. It's hard. It's hard because they don't want no one to hear me. And it's going to get to one day where we're not even going to be heard. Where it's not going to be here that we're not going to be heard. It's going to be knocking on your door. And you won't see me no more. I just hope that now that I'm in court, that they see what this system is doing and that I get justice before God comes to this world, because in all reality, I am so tired. And the thing about it is that I love to sing and I love to do a lot of things, but it has weakened me from like singing. I don't want to sing no more. I thank God that I didn't even take that life, because that life is like miserable. It's okay to have a few views, but it's not okay to have fame. It's not. A lot of people see those people like that happy and stuff, but they are miserable, because I can imagine me not being heard being better than being miserable and being heard, because so many people want to say their 2 cents. One day I posted a video around here, and the lady said, "Call me a crackhead," and I was like, "How'd she call me a crackhead? I mean, I wouldn't know how I'm a crackhead. I mean, was she smoking with somebody that looks like me or something?" Because for what I know, I never touched drugs. Anybody that sells crack can tell you I have never went to their spot. There's not one person, and if they do pop up and say I was their customer, they are lying because they want to do evil to me. That's how it is. I never was in drugs. My stuff is always depression. I get skinny. It's like witchcraft done to me. In which I lose all my weight, and have no hope of surviving what's going on with me at that time. I lose all my weight. So I want to post my videos. And this video that I'm about to post after this, I want you guys to go see it, so you can get an idea of what I have went through and all the things that I have to handle to at least think that finally I'm going to get justice. I don't know where to start. I have went through so many things. I don't know where to start. But I want you guys to know that this next video that's coming, you get a little of what's going on and why there's no justice. I will be coming back with part 2 of my story. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the bottom. Whatever question you want, I will answer it. But in all reality, we got to stick together and watch out what's going on with our kids. Because evil is trying to rule, and we cannot let evil rule. I'll be back with part 2 tonight. Have a blessed day.